Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Yappers Club. Hey, y'all! I know it's been a minute, so sorry about that. Actually, I'm not gonna apologize because I've just been entering a new era of my life of just being very in line and in alignment and in my divine energy of just, going with the flow and just being very comfortable and being very chill and being very just like zen. So I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading a lot. This is my first video in 2 weeks almost, so it's a little bit crazy, but I'm back here. I'm back. We're back. Also, new location unlocked. New location unlocked, ponieważ Majka mi беше doszła na gości i беше решила да направи това, which is a little cute corner in my apartment where I can film. So now we are unlocking a new location and we're going to be filming all the videos here. So get comfortable with it. We are on the floor together. I am on a mattress, so do not worry about that. And yeah, it's like very like New York. It's giving Sex in the City. And I'm on the floor. And the lighting is amazing. Няма да япвам за 20 000 неща преди да започнем видеото. Направо ще го започнем. The topic of today's episode is feminine and masculine energy. Yes, give it up. Give it up. I'm so excited to talk about this because, when you think about it, feminine and masculine energy are very prevalent in all of us. И смятам, че повечето пъти мъжката и женската енергия се преплитат в един или в повече хора, especially for me, as a person who is part of the LGBTQ plus community. My masculine and my feminine energy have always been at war with each other. I've never actually known what is more prevalent in my life. Is it my masculine energy or is it my feminine energy? Because as a gay man, most gay men are mostly feminine. Like, not just like physically. Just like in general, they're more in tune with their feminine energy because, we're fruity, we're divas, and that's okay. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. But most of my life, I really thought I had to be this specific version of myself and I had to be in this feminine energy all the time just to cater to the people I was trying to date, for example, or even friends in high school. Because when I was in high school and when I was just learning about my sexuality in general, I really was like, okay, so if I'm gay, then that means I have to act more feminine because that's what, gays are known for, being feminine, as in, being a diva and stuff and like being girly, which that was really weird for me because I was like, but I'm a boy, but I'm a man, but I'm also not a man because being gay means you're not a man, which is not fucking true. Okay, let's get that out of the way. That's not fucking true. We're gonna get to that. But I really thought I had to be more feminine in order to cater to my friends and just be liked more in general and be accepted as a gay man, which in hindsight I never was accepted for being gay in high school because I was bullied. So that didn't work out a lot. But anyways, I really thought that the only way that I was gonna get liked or even the slightest chance of acceptance I had was to be feminine, to act feminine, not to look feminine because I didn't used to look feminine. I mean, I'm not saying I was like very manly and masculine because I was never masculine, let me tell you that. But I didn't have long hair, I didn't have nails, I didn't dress the way I dress now. So it was very weird for me to enter this kind of phase in high school where I didn't dress feminine, but I only acted feminine because I only had girlfriends. I did have guy friends, but they weren't the best, and I couldn't really be masculine. I couldn't really enter that era of my life just because I thought I had to be a specific way in order to like survive in general and be liked by people and be accepted by people for being who I was at the time. And I think that took a toll on me because I think from a young age I had to be feminine and act feminine just to be accepted. And for a long ass fucking time, I literally thought that the only way that I would get friends or even I would get into a relationship was for me to act feminine, even though I'm a man, right? Okay, so that was really weird for me. And even in my first ever relationship, I really thought I had to be feminine because my partner at the time was very masculine. And I thought, okay, so he's masculine. and I have to be feminine, you know, because that's how gay relationships work. And that's not the fucking case. Защото повечето пъти, когато някой се сети за гей двойка, се сещаш за въпроса, омага, кой е жената и кой е мъжа? And it's like, and for a long time, I thought that was normal. I was like, yeah, I'm the woman. I'm like, no, baby, you have a dick. You're not a woman. You are both men, and you could be both masculine, and you could be both feminine. That's okay. Because at the end of the day, you are in a gay relationship with two men, which means if you are both men, chances are you both might be masculine. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, I don't think that's a good dynamic. Because in a relationship in general, whether that be a lesbian one, a gay one, a straight one, whatever it is, I think there should be one masculine and one feminine. Y'all can switch. Hey, that's okay. Защото понякога трябва да има някакво разнообразие, you know? So, you can switch a little bit. But in general, I don't think most relationships work out when both of the people in it are both in their masculine energy or in their feminine energy. Because, you know, I think that's just, I don't know, I feel like it would be a mess. Because in my first relationship, I was very feminine. Like, I acted feminine, you know? And I thought it was the only way for my relationship to work out, because I thought, oh my god, he's gonna like me more just because I'm more feminine. I'm acting more feminine. I'm looking more feminine even. And that was not the fucking case. You know, I realized that even if I was the most feminine version of myself, if the person is horrible, they will be horrible no matter what, baby. Това, че си в женската си енергия и той в мъжката или обратното, не значи, че връзката ще се получи. If they're horrible, they're horrible. Nothing matters, you know? But I also realized that in my next relationship, my most recent one, I was very in between masculine and feminine. Because I always thought that the only way for my relationship to work out, if I started talking to someone, and the only way for that relationship to work out was for me to be more feminine, to act more feminine, because most men are masculine, which that's not the fucking case. I also realized that most men, особено в днешно време, повечето мъже дори не са си в мъжката енергия, and that's insane to me, considering the fact that възможно най-гнусните и отвратителни и бавно развиващи мъже са точно тези, които се държат като жени. Cause like, girl, why the fuck are you trying to out-diva me? Why are you being a fruit? What's going on, queen? Cause they're queens, they're divas. You're not a man, you're a diva, and that's fine. But don't try to act like a man when in reality you're just a bitch. Cooch! You're a cooch. Cooter. For a long time, I really thought that the only way for my relationships to work out was for me to be feminine. But in my last relationship, the most recent one, it was a mix of two. I was really confused in that relationship because I thought, okay, but I'm being more feminine, but also my partner is being very feminine. Because when you think about it, когато някой се сети за женска енергия, се сеща за чувствителност. Because men, ако мъж е чувствителен, край, той е путка. Край. Но чувствителността по принцип е типичен character trait на жените, which is fine. Това е грижовност. Грижовност, емоционалност, чувствителност. Всичките тези core traits are typically connected to women, not men. Защото повечето мъже не са чувствителни, нали? Because society has literally made men feel nothing in order to be more masculine. And, you know, when you think about it, that is true. Повечето мъже дори не са чувствителни, защото това по принцип е черта на жените. Това е женска черта. And that's fine. Hey, that's okay. But that doesn't also mean that if you're a man, you can't be emotional. That does not mean shit. Because ако се замислиш за мъжката енергия, повечето пъти са някакви provider, нали, изкарвам пари, строя къщи и се грижа за семейството финансово. Това е, че има връзки, в които жената се грижи за всичкото това финансово. И мъжът е този, който готви и чисти вкъщи. И някой ще каже, ами то това не е окей, защото смятам, че жената трябва да е по-женствената и мъжът трябва да е по-мъжествен. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but if it's working out, isn't it? You know, for me, I think I've always thought about it, especially recently. Започнах да се замислям, добре, в каква енергия съм в момента в живота си? Am I in my masculine energy or am I in my feminine energy? And I noticed that I am more in my masculine energy than I am in my feminine energy. It really depends on the people I'm around. Because if I'm on a date, you know, because I started dating again, I am trying to date again. I didn't start dating. I'm trying to date again. But I noticed that if I'm on a date with a man, I'm usually the more masculine one because I don't know, I just like the control because most men don't even know how to hold a fucking conversation. You don't know how to keep the conversation going. And me as a man as well, I'm gonna carry the conversation. Cause I'm I'm the leader. I'm a man, so let me lead you, king. It's weird because I've always thought that, as I said, I need to be feminine. I want to feel more feminine when I'm talking to a man, when I'm trying to date someone. And that hasn't been the case. And I noticed even as I said, in my last relationship, I was more masculine than I was feminine. Don't get me wrong, I was very feminine too, I was very emotional and very insane. I'm not saying that I wasn't crazy because I was crazy in my last relationship, and that's okay. I've learned, I've matured, I've grown, whatever. But at times I was the more masculine one, and I was so confused because I was like, okay, but you are the epitome of a man, because my ex was a man, like a man, he looked like a man, you know what I mean? So it was very weird for me to be the one to take the lead and be like, we're gonna do this, this, and this, and this, and like that's it. Because as a woman, I'm not a woman, but as a woman who is in her feminine energy, and as a gay man who is in his feminine energy, you want to be led. You want a man to lead you, because if your feminine energy is most prevalent, you would want some masculine energy to lead you, for the balance. And that's okay. Or vice versa. If you are more in your masculine energy, you would want some feminine energy around you, right? And that goes for literally every fucking sexuality. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Because let's say, for example, if there's a lesbian couple and both of you bitches are feminine, is there gonna be, maybe it's gonna be good. I don't know. I don't know anything about lesbian relationships, but I don't know if that's gonna work out. I really don't. I really don't that if that's gonna work out, or if there's a mix. If there's a mix, it's always fun because you never know what you're gonna get. And for me, I think especially lately, I've just been in both of these energies. I've just been constantly moving around them, and I can't pick one. And I always thought that I needed to be in a specific energy in order to, have a good relationship with myself, with my friends, even a romantic one. And that was never the fucking case, because why would I need to put myself in a box, even energetically? Why would I need to do that? When I'm feeling more feminine, I'm feeling more feminine, and it's amazing. I love feeling feminine, and I love embracing my femininity as a man. As a gay man, that is, too. But also, sometimes I love embracing my masculine energy as well, and my masculinity as well, because I love being masculine as well. It just really depends on who I'm with and how I'm feeling that day. It just really depends on that. And when I say that, I kind of sound crazy, because foi isso que já кажеш, че когато се чувстваш по-мъжествен, си по-мъжествен, а когато се чувстваш по-женствен, си по-женствен. I'm like, yeah, basically. And it's very weird. It is very weird for me, защото, I've always thought about it. Like, okay, so am I more masculine or am I more feminine? Because повечето гейове, като се замислиш, са по-женствени. Не говорим за външен вид, говорим in general. Their presence, their character, their demeanor, everything about a gay man screams femininity. Most of the times. Even if you're the most muscular, buff, big man, if you're gay, baby, there is femininity there. There is femininity there. Yeah. No, but there is some gays that are very masculine and very, like, dominant and very, like, like, why the fuck are you as a gay man being that dominant? You like it up the butt, king. Come on now. Grow up. Spread them open. Like, I just don't get it. That's why I'm saying that I don't know where I fit into that category of gays, Because като се замислиш, понякога и сексуалната ти ориентация ти определя енергията, в която си, which kind of makes sense, but also kind of doesn't, because I'm the perfect example of I'm masculine and feminine. I just really depends on the person I'm with, because sometimes I love feeling feminine, especially when I'm talking to my girlfriends. I love feeling feminine. I love just being with the girls, being one of the girls. But sometimes I am very masculine with my friends as well, with my girlfriends. It just really depends on the vibes, honestly. I just don't know how to explain that. I really don't know how to explain these dichotomies of energies. It's so confusing, especially when you are young and in your 20s and you're still discovering who you are as a person. Who do you want to be as a person? Who do you want to be in a relationship with? How do you want to go through life in your relationship, in your friendships? And it's so weird because especially for someone that's not straight, because when you are a straight man or when you are a straight woman, you kind of know like what energy you're supposed to be in. But also I know some people that maybe you're a straight woman or a straight man that they don't really know. Or let's say, for example, you're a straight woman and you've always felt masculine and you've always been more masculine than other women and you've always felt off because that's not how you're supposed to be acting. But also at the same time, why not? Hey, so why not? But also as a woman, as a straight woman, I feel like you would want to be in your feminine energy more than you would want to be in your masculine energy. You know what I mean? And that goes for a straight man as well. Like, I doubt a straight man would want to be feminine more than they want to be masculine. But masculinity in general, забелязал съм, че в днешно време мъжествеността е много относителна като цяло, защото буквално, ако мъж дори, God forbid, a man wears a pink shirt. Oh my god, that's like, what the fuck, you're gay. And it's like, God forbid a man has nails. Oh my god, you're literally a, you know, like, that's crazy. Why would you do that as a man? As a man, you should be building houses and going to war. And it's like, girl, we live in the 21st century. I think it's okay to have a little bit of fun. Защото очевидно има някаква специфична формула и специфични неща, които трябва да следваш, като мъж, които са някакво, да, аз съм мъжествен и трябва да правя това и това и това, мъжете не реват, мъжете не са, мъжете са праволинейни, мъжете така и така и така, те знаят кога да вземат решение, кога така и така и така, and it's like, okay, yes, that is true. I'm not saying that that's not true because it is true. И това е, че жените са по-контролирани от емоциите си и не могат да взимат толкова бързи и праволинейни решения, както мъжете. And that's the fucking case. And you can argue with me in the comments below, but we can all agree that, you know, a man would make a decision faster than a woman would. Because men are usually not controlled by their feelings as much as women are. И някой ще каже, да, ама той има жени, които могат да вземат по-бързи решения от мъже. Yeah, but that's a rare thing, because ако, да кажем, for example, жена може е по-праволинейна и по-нали, she's a provider and she makes money by herself and she's very like business oriented and very, that is girl boss behavior, yes, but also that is a masculine trait. That is a masculine energy. And you can argue with that. That is true, because femininity in general is about being caring, taking care of your friends, taking care of your partners, taking care of your family, emotionally taking care of them, you know, and just being more, you know, caring in general and being more, you know, like a mother bird in a way, if you know what I mean. And masculine energy is more of like, oh, I'm going to take care of them financially and I'm going to be the man of the house. I'm going to be the rock of the family. And it's always been like that. And it's always been like that. And it will forever be like that. And if someone says, oh, but like, аз като жена не искам да имам такъв мъж, който такова, защото аз искам да работя. No one's saying you can't fucking work, bitch. You can work. Obviously you can work and make money too. But also, that is a masculine trait. I'm not saying women should not work, because get that bag, sister. Literally get that bag. I love girl bosses so fucking much. But you also gotta realize that is a masculine trait. Yes, that is a masculine trait. Защото, you know, let's all say it. Women are supposed to be at home. I don't agree with that. I've never, like, agreed with that on a full, like, note. But also, it is a feminine trait to take care of the family and take care of the children. It is so feminine. And caring in general and making sure everyone else is okay emotionally is a very feminine trait. That's why I think most women are very confused and very weirded out when they feel more masculine around other men, for example. Because there is women who feel like they have to be masculine in order to fit into society, or they have to be feminine in order to be liked by men, and that's not the fucking case. And same goes for fucking men, because there's a lot of men I've seen that you can't even, as a man, you can't even be emotional without being called a woman, being called a pussy. And that's insane, because yes, that is a very feminine trait again. Being emotional in general и да си по-чувствителен е нещо, което жените повече го имат отколкото мъжете. And that's a fact as well. Argue with the wall, read it out. Буквално прочетете го онлайн, брат. Имат супер много research за това нещо. And literally you can read it out. Но съм забелязал, че напоследък повече мъже са станали доста по-чувствителни от жените. Което е доста странно, because most of these men are turning into divas and queens. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Защото повечето мъже ще кажат, ами да, аз искам това и това и това. Има мъже, които буквално се дразнят и се държат буквално като жена. And I'm like, aren't you supposed to be a man? Защото има мъже, които се бият в градите, че са такива и такива и такива и такива и такива. And then you go and act like a whole ass woman with a full on cooch and tits. And it's like, king, what are you doing? Queen, what are you doing? You know, it's very weird. И това е, че повечето мъже дори не могат да си позволят да са толкова емоционални и толкова чувствителни, защото си казват, омага, нали, сега ще ме помислят за жена, ако не дай си Боже се разрева. And it's like, no, you can cry. You can have balance between femininity and masculinity as long as you're comfortable in yourself and in your sexuality and in your demeanor and in your energy in general. As long as you're comfortable with all of those things, you can be feminine and masculine at the same time. It does not fucking matter. No one gives a fuck. Това е, че повечето хора в днешно време забелязвам, че мъже и жени, каквато и да е сексуалност, they feel like they have to fit into that specific thing of, аз съм жена и трябва да се държа по този начин. Аз ако съм жена и се държа по този начин, няма да бъда харесвана. Има жени, на които въобще не им пука, за което е вола. Нали, do your thing. Literally amazing. Но има и мъже, които са някакво, аз трябва да се държа мъжествен, нали, трябва да съм така и на място. Но повечето мъже дори не се държат на място. Къде са истинските мъже? You know, като се замислиш, let's actually talk about that as well. Where the fuck are real men? What happened to real men? What happened to men who can make a fucking decision? Буквално, брат, питаш мъж, for example, питаш мъж, къде искаш да се видим? Кога искаш да се видим? Какво искаш да правим? Той някакво, I don't know, you pick. Brother, you are 30 years old. What do you mean I pick? What the fuck? And I will pick because I'm also a man. And I will make that decision for you, queen. Because you can't. That's why I say, like, I have to be so masculine sometimes when I'm meeting someone new for the first time. Because I'm like, you can't even make a decision for yourself. None. Има някои, които се дразнат и стават супер чувствителни и супер раздразителни, защото някой ще каже, ами да, повечето мъже имат проблеми с гнева. А гнева откъде идва? От чувствителността. So basically, you're a pussy. 2 plus 2 is 4, mama. Hey. And I just feel like in general, masculinity has always been a very hard topic for a lot of people just because, well, you know, обществото ти казва, ти ако си мъж, трябва да изкарваш много пари, да си намериш хубава жена, хубава работа, да се грижиш за нея, финансово да се грижиш за нея. По никакъв друг начин, само финансово, защото, нали, God forbid, a man washes the fucking dishes. Oh my god, game over. Ако мъж измие чините, край. Ако мъж реши да пусне прахосмокачка. Ако мъж реши да пусне пране? At that point, literally go to a drag queen show. Like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be outside building houses and fighting for your country. Serving for your country. You know? За мен това винаги е било някаква пълна простотия. Особено откакто съм бил малък. За мен това тия gender norms и някакви, ами ако си такъв, ако си мъж, трябва да се държиш по този начин, ако си жена, трябва да се държиш по този начин. It's like, it's always been very weird for me because I've never actually known how I'm supposed to be, who I'm supposed to be, and how am I supposed to be acting, considering I am a gay man, but also I do have a penis. I am a man, after all, so не мога да кажа, че съм постоянно женствен because I'm not, and I don't consider myself like that. I don't consider myself feminine. It really depends, though, on the mood and on the day. But I like being masculine, too. I love being masculine, actually, you know? And a lot of people would say, oh, but you're gay, so you can't really be masculine. Oh, trust me, I can. Oh, trust me, I can. And I have been, and I will be. Because I've always thought that, if I like a man a lot and we meet often and stuff or whatever, and he's very masculine, I always felt like, I have to fit into that feminine spot, feminine thing that's missing. Because for me, relationships mostly don't work out if both of you are masculine or feminine at the same time. It's like, I just don't think that would work out. Или има някои случаи, в които това може да проработи, но повечето пъти it's just a mess. Защото знам как съм бил в моите връзки и как съм се държал аз и как се е държал бивши ми партньор, and it's like, it's never been fun. Because it's like, it's either two men fighting or two bitches fighting. And it's like, that's never a good thing. You know, because, you know, when you are in a relationship, there should be a masculine energy, a prevalent masculine energy, and a prevalent feminine energy. You know? And those can switch. Because аз не мога да кажа, че във връзки не съм бил пак switch between the two. You know, because I have been. And that's still okay. But you can't only be one. And if you are in a relationship where you are the more feminine one, or you're the more masculine one, and let's say, for example, they switch and there is a balance between the two, like, понякога, защото ми се е случвало понякога аз да трябва да съм по-мъжествения във връзката и аз да кажа, нали, така и така и така, and that's okay, that's literally okay. As long as there's balance between the two, I think that's what makes a relationship last longer and makes it stronger, when there's a balance between the energies. Because if there's no balance and it's only like only masculine and like or only feminine, it's like, it's gonna be a mess. Because imagine two bitches fighting. Imagine two women in a relationship, lesbian, that is, fighting like women. Do you think that would be fun? Or two grown gay men fighting like men. Like, what the fuck? What is going on? There has to be a balance. Даже смятам, че в отношенията с най-добрите ти приятели също трябва да има някакъв баланс between energy, защото някои мои приятели са по-feminine с мен, пък други са по-masculine с мен. И аз също. Има групи, има хора, с които, когато съм с тях, се чувствам по-женствен. И има групи от хора, с които, като излезем, се чувствам по-мъжествен. It just really depends on, you know, how I'm feeling, because sometimes I feel very masculine and very protective over my girlfriends, especially. Защото когато стане нещо, аз винаги се чувствам доста така, like, I have to protect him, I have to take care of them, I'm a man after all, like, no matter fucking what, no matter your sexuality, if you are a man, act like a fucking man. Okay, that's you. Because you can't say, oh my god, аз не мога да се държа като мъж, аз съм гей. Grow the fuck up, okay? Grow the fuck up and grow some fucking balls and act like a fucking man. Това, че си queen, не значи, че ти не мога да се държиш като мъж, мила. And I'm so sick and tired of that whole thing that gay men should only be feminine. Why the fuck should I be that? Why would I put myself in a box? Защото в крайна сметка си мъж. Каквато и сексуална ориентация да имаш, си мъж в крайна сметка. So please act like one. Don't act like a fucking queen. Because there are some gay men that are just like fucking women, even worse than women. I have seen gay men act like women more than my women friends have acted like women. And that's crazy. That's insane. You're a man. Sorry, you're a man. That is very controversial to say, but also, it's not, because you're a man. Are you not? Do you have a dick between your legs? Yes. So act like it. For once. Защото аз мога да кажа, да, аз понякога на моменти също се държа доста женствено, but at the end of the day, at the core, I am a man. So sometimes, it's normal to act like a man. And it's okay. And you should be doing that, actually. You know? Както и за жени. You can't be a woman and act like a man all the damn time and expect people to like you. Sorry! Защото имаше, всички сме чували този термин, не знам дали сте го чували, мъжкарана, в който мъжкарана буквално е жена, която се държи като момче, като мъж, more like, you know. Особено в училище постоянно чувахме това мъжкарана, или тая мъжкарана. И просто защото мъжкарана, това го виждахме като момиче, което просто облича повече, нали, по-спортно, нали, не толкова girly and cute, по-спортно и по-laid back and по-chill, and hangs out with the boys more. And don't even get me started on the pick-me bullshit, because that just pisses me off. A pick-me bitch can go to hell. A pick-me bitch can go to hell, because you're not even in your masculine energy. You're just being a pick-me. You're just being a pick-me. Because most pick-me girls, I've noticed that you're not even masculine. Actually, you're being the most feminine when you're actually craving that male attention and male validation. Because that is craving male validation is a very feminine trait. You are being a pick me. You're also being a woman. You're not one of the boys, mama. You're being a normal woman craving male validation because most women do crave that. That is a very feminine trait. Докато мъжете, съм забелязал, че повечето мъже, they crave other men's validation. But at the end of the day, everyone is craving male validation. Men are craving that, women are craving that, everybody wants some dick, I guess. It's so weird, you know? Защото като се замислиш, повечето мъже, they crave the validation of society in general or of other men, and that is inherently a little bit feminine in my idea, because why are you as a man wanting the attention of another man? Right? It's a little weird. It's a little weird. That's something to think about. Or why are you as a woman only craving the validation from other men? What the fuck are you doing? That's not also, смисъл не казвам, че craving male validation is inherently bad, but also it is feminine, you know? Това е доста женска черта, да искаш вниманието на мъже, because as a woman, you know, повечето жени са programmed to want that male validation, to want that male attention, to attract that male attention to them. And that is inherently feminine. But guys, that is not the most important thing in the world. But also, when you think about it, защото се замислих за още едно нещо, повечето жени, или по-скоро повечето жени съм забелязал да казват, не ни трябват мъже, за какво са ни мъже? Bitch, if we don't have men, the world is gonna be terrible. And I mean that in the bluntest way possible. If we don't have men building buildings for one, защото ако нямаме мъже, доста неща няма да имаме като цяло. И мисля, че е окей да си го признаем това и не да се правим на някакви бавно развиващи от сорта на да, но вече живеем в нови времена и не ни трябват мъже за нищо. And it's like, are you sure about that? Hey, so are you sure about that? Because let's say, for example, you're building a skyscraper. Only women, let's say. No men exist. Me included. I don't exist. And women are building a skyscraper. It turns out, one day, all of their periods are synced. And it's like, who's gonna build that building? Who's gonna build the building? Who? I'm on my period. I can't. And that's fine. Hey, that's okay. You know, that is a women thing. You have a period. Okay, like, that's okay, that's fine. But also, who's gonna do the job? Because when you think about it, women are not made for physical, like strong and physical labor. They're not created for that. And I think it's time we accepted that. I mean, if a woman is like very physically like and like strong and thing, that's amazing. That is so cool. And I love that. But also, women will never be physically more capable than men. And that is okay. It's okay to admit that. So that's why I'm saying, like, we do need men. And also we do need women, because if we don't have women, we're not going to have children and we're not going to reproduce and blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on, dick and cooch. It's like normal to have both of the genders. It's normal to have women and men. It's okay. I'm sick of this bullshit that we don't need men anymore because men are dead. And it's like, men are always going to be men. Unfortunately, men will always be men. Мъжете повечето пъти винаги си остават мъже. Колкото и мъж да се промени, at the core, he is a man. Както и жена. Колкото и време да мине и една жена да се промени, at the core, you are a woman. And that's okay. It's okay to accept each other. Нали? Жените ще си бъдат жени и мъжете ще си бъдат мъже. В крайна сметка. И тази енергия женска и мъжка винаги ще са prevalent. Винаги. Because at the core, you are a woman. At the core, you are a man. And that's not going to change. That doesn't change with time. You know, maybe sometimes it does. But at the core, you still are, you know, a man or a woman. So at the end of the day, I think it's okay to have balance between the two. And I think it's okay to embrace both of them. AKA, if you're a man, embracing your femininity. And if you're a woman, embracing your masculinity. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Because when there's balance, everything's okay. You can't have only masculine and feminine energy. Because sometimes in relationships, the woman has to be the man and the man has to be the woman. And that's okay. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Or in gay relationships. There always has to be balance, and there always has to be a mix between the two, because you can't have two masculine bitches or two feminine men or vice versa, whatever it is. That's not gonna work out. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe it does sometimes, but I don't think that's. I really don't think that works. I really don't think that would be cool and fun. I really don't think. That's just my opinion, though. Защото съм забелязал напоследък как доста хора се опитват да become more woke and more like, oh, like, we don't need men for this, or like, women are embracing their masculinity, men should embrace their femininity. And I believe in that. I believe that you should embrace your energy. If you're comfortable in yourself, literally do whatever the fuck you want. But at the end of the day, men, masculine, women, feminine. Men can be feminine, women can be masculine, but there always has to be a balance between the two. And I think it's okay to admit that. В смисъл, мисля, че TikTok напоследък наистина още повече ни спръжва мозъците and brainwashes the fuck out of us into thinking that, oh, if I'm a man, I can be a little bit more feminine and I'm gonna be okay, and that's fine. You are gonna be okay, but at the end of the day, you can't act like a fucking bitch towards another bitch, aka a woman, that is. You know what I mean? It's a little weird. And if you're a gay man, act like a fucking man. Това, че си гей, не значи, че трябва да се държиш като кралица. Това, че си гей, не значи, че трябва да се държиш всеки ден, абсолютно всеки шибан ден като жена. И аз го казвам при положение, че аз се държа така. И на моменти, брат, съжалявам много, какъвто и да си като сексуална ориентация, ми трябва да се държиш като какъвто ти е пола. Sorry. And that's the truth. That's the fucking truth. And argue with me on that one. Literally try to argue, but at the end of the day, that's the fucking truth. That's the fucking case. You can't always be a fucking queen and expect shit to work out. Sorry. If you're a gay man, act like a man. Gay man. Gay man. 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 You're a man. Act like one. Or lesbian. You can be feminine, Lesbians also can be feminine, because I've noticed, забелязал съм, че напоследък доста хора, като чуят лесбийка, се представят някаква маска лесбийка, like a masculine woman, and that's not the fucking case. That's not the fucking case. Lesbians should also feel feminine sometimes, You are allowed to feel feminine, even if you're a masked lesbian or whatever you are. You are allowed to feel feminine and masculine at the same time. And it's okay. It's okay. But don't just put yourself in one little fucking energy just because, like society said so. Fuck that shit. Fuck society. Literally, ain't nobody give a fuck. As long as you feel okay in yourself, you can be masculine, you can be feminine, you can be whatever the fuck you want. As long as there's balance, you're gonna feel so much better. And with that being said, I think I'm done. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you also enjoy this new setup that we have going on. It's really cute. Like this video. Subscribe. Follow me down below on my social medias. And hit that notification bell, because I hopefully will be posting next week as well. Eat good food. Drink water. Tell everyone in your life that you love them, that you care about them. Take care of yourself. And I will see you on the next one. Okay? Bye!